What? Yeah, I smoking to my life all day. All day. Dude, smoking blunt. Where the fuck is you? Smoking on the blunt. Where the fuck is you? Where the fuck is you? Where the fuck is you? Smoking on the blunt. I'm smoking. What? 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 Yeah. That's how I'm doing.
All right, here we go. Talking with the fellas. Welcome, everybody. This is the next episode. We're here to talk about something that affects at least 7 out of every 10 men to some extent or another, and that's mental health.
Mental health.
Yes. Now, when we're talking about mental health, we're not talking about color or anything of that nature. We're just talking in general right now for men. So mental health, I will kick it off. This year has been so challenging for me and men in general with the thought of being providers and having to be responsible for a family, for children. I actually lost my son last year, so my mental health in the capacity that I'm able to be sane from day to day, it varies. You know, I have my good days and my bad days, you know. So, and one thing about us men, is historically, and we're not allowed to talk about issues, right?
Yep.
Because we automatically think we deemed to be weak,
Oh yeah.
emotional, just bitch-like. I'm gonna put it like that, bitch-like. They say that to us a lot.
Bitch ass nigga.
Bitch-ass niggas,
Yeah.
some shit like that, right? And it's all with our mental health, right? Without being in our shoes and not knowing the weight that we carry on our shoulders, a lot of people just don't understand that, and the reason they don't understand that is we don't express it.
That's true.
So what's your thoughts on that? So what we do is we express it in different ways. So what happens is we have a mentality as men, strong men, to bottle it up. Because if you reach out, like how you said, somebody would use that against you, of course.
Yep.
So, and other than that, you hold it to your chest. So you hold that in. Learning, growing, becoming who I am, you learn about mental health and you don't know you going through it till you actually going through it. So if we go peel back the curtain, so prime example, I left here 2021, about 2020, going to 2021. So I left here well off. I ain't have to ask for shit. I can get my own. And then you go through periods where you starting new and you starting fresh. You go through that, and then you feel like shit. The grass might not be green on the other side. But you took a leap out. I took a leap out on faith. But also, when you do that, you take certain things and say, okay, now I'm still a provider, and you still have to lead. And when you feel like you can't lead, you go to a dark path where you do feel alone. You don't want to reach out to nobody.
Yep.
Because you can't reach out for help. It's like, shit, what you leave for?
Right, exactly. You want to
Yeah,
hear
what you leave for?
There you go, gotta hear that shit.
What you leave. So now it's like, shit, people that you look out, say if you branching out to do this, say you opening a store.
Yep.
First motherfuckers want to see you fail is the motherfuckers that come in here and say, this is nice.
Exactly. Yep.
The same motherfuckers ain't gonna contribute.
Yep.
Well, you go out and you go on your own and you leave this. Well, why you leave that? You were straight. You went over there. Now all of a sudden they want to see you struggle. And you bottle all that in, and then when you get to a point where if you do come on tough times or hard times where you can't provide, and you're not the leader that you knew who you were, it's a tough space. Going into it, I felt like, honestly, I didn't know who the fuck I was a couple years ago. And then you deal with that, and then you deal with death. Like when my stepfather passed, I know you was talking about Hiwana, you was talking about your son passed. I know you was in a place. And when it first happened for you, I didn't know how to reach out to you because I didn't know what to say. I reached out and it was like, hey, I'm here. If you want to ear, I'm there for you. Didn't know what else to say to you because, mind you, knowing you've been this for so long. And when it breaks you down so you don't know who you are, it's hard for a man to adapt. Me, I remember looking in the mirror like, I don't know who the fuck I am. And you sitting there and you can sit from a distance, you watch your people, they living their lives and you feel like shit. Y'all forgot about me.
A good man told me, adversity builds great character. You know what I'm saying? You go through adversity and everything like that, it'll build great character, man. You got to go through hurdles. You got to do this. You got to do that. Any type of, you know what I'm saying, some kind of negativity, anything like that you're going through, it builds great character. And you guys are great character guys, man. I've been knowing y'all for 20 plus years. You know what I'm saying? And you guys are great men. So, but as far as mental though, the mental health, man, mental health is very important, especially in the black community, man, especially as black men. I mean, we go through all types of shit, man. I'm talking about as far as taking care of our families, as far as taking care of our children, being a leader basically in your community. You know what I'm saying? You gotta look out for that too. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta keep your home. So I mean, people look up to us, man. You know what I mean?
Believe it or not, it is. And when you go in certain spaces where, honestly, I got to a low point in my life where I wasn't going to be here. I don't talk about it. The only person who know about it is people who's close to me. And I was actually planning on not being here. And it was going to be like a what? Him? How? And all that, right? And I didn't feel like I didn't feel like the value of me. I didn't know who I was. Like I said, I didn't know who I was. Yeah. So the value of me when you can't do certain things when you used to. My thing was how I looked at, you can call relationships, providing with the shit I can do. I might not be this, and this, but what I'm going to do is provide. Right. When you sit there and you can't provide and you see the hurt coming from other people. Exactly. It can you a place where you done. Yep. So I was literally checked out. Exactly. And I got to a point, and there was a point where I was like, okay, this it. I know how I'm going to do it. I know when I'm going to do it. I'm going to get it over with. And it's just if something happens, you have interventions, and when you, certain things that come to you, like, man, why would you do that? Right, exactly. You know what I mean? And you go through a situation and you look at, say if I would have did it and everything would have happened. You know, it'd have been a total shock to anybody who knew me. Of course. Yeah. I'm one who, every time you see me, it's a smile on my face. Exactly. You know what I mean? Exactly. And then you go from that, and then now all of a sudden y'all looking at, damn. They say keep your eye on the people that always smile, man. That's the son that is here. You know what I'm saying? Everybody say they fine. They say that. Exactly. Always keep the eye on people like that. They say the kind of space that I was in with my son, and I still be in to this day. My moments come when I'm by myself, doing things like simple things, driving to work early in the morning. Right. This depression, like some depression don't get identified, but that's part of the mental health thing too, the depression that's set in. So my thing is sometimes being that provider, being sometimes that's all I know that makes me feel like a man. I also sometimes be wanting to feel that somebody understands that I am doing all this. Exactly. And if I'm not on the happy mode, I'm not on the fucking the providing tip shape that they just like understand. Like, it's more behind that. It's mentally you screaming for help and nobody's hearing you. You want to be appreciative. You know, appreciate. I'm sorry, not appreciative. You want to be appreciated. But you know what I'm saying? That was a nice point right there. You want to be appreciated, man. I mean, you providing, man. You doing this, you doing that. You want to have somebody come to you like, hey, you good? You know, say everything good with you. You know, how was your day? You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying? You can say that, but the first answer, if I ask you, oh, dude, what's going on? You good? What you gonna say? I'm cool. I'm cool. Yeah. I mean, yeah. It all depends. Mo, you good? Yeah. I'm good. Yeah. And that's gonna be the first answer, and then we gonna take that and run with it. Yeah. He said he was good. Yeah. So if you sit there and Moses called me and say, Max, you cool? I'm good, man. You know what I'm saying? The next thing you know, I'm out of here. And you find out, like, where the fuck did that come from? But our mentality as men, though, we gonna say we good because, like, in our thought process, I'm gonna speak for me. In my thought process, if I start screaming out and saying what's fucking wrong, right, it'll be like I'm bitching and I'm fucking. No, you know? I mean, yeah, but you got to get it out though. My point is, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you know, a person that ain't good. You know what I'm saying? That's why I asked. Like, you can't good straight, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You can't even let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Can't even figure it out. You can't even check on nobody. Like, you can't say, hey, happy birthday to somebody. Next thing you know, they want something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what I asked. I called you to say, give you a happy birthday. So, look, now you need something. Yeah. And then you put yourself in that position. You don't understand that people, they reach out to you. I need this. I need that. And you become a crutch for so many people.
Yeah.
Not knowing that you doing this and ain't nobody crutching you.
Yeah.
And that turns on, that affects your immediate family.
You think getting professional help is good for young men, for older men, for black men, for white men?
I wouldn't say
any kind of
professional help. I would say just talking to somebody who gets it.
Okay.
That can be an uncle, that could be a friend, that could be somebody you don't know. It could be somebody you don't know. So I talked to this. I not talked to, but I encountered this gentleman. Right, he on this clothing line. Shout out to Cold Pizza, Corey. We had this men's mental health session, and he sat in the session and he talked about how going to therapy helped him do so much shit.
Yeah.
Right. And I never heard a man, when Corey was talking about this, I never heard a man speak about that in depth like he did.
Yeah.
And he was adamant that brought him back from a lot of dark places, a lot of the depression, a lot of stuff he was going through at the time, whether it was with his ex-wife or whatever he was going through.
Right.
He said the therapy helped. And us as black men, we don't hear the therapy word, right?
Exactly.
We think,
Man, we don't need that bullshit. Man, fuck all that.
They never been in our situation.
Exactly.
So there you go. But you therapy. I say that to say the whole time. I say that to say you find inspiration in the little things, and then it come in the form of somebody you don't know.
Yeah, you go. Exactly.
I met this gentleman that I was trying to work with. It didn't get to flourish, but I'm hoping to get back to it. But he got an app called Manful Health. Manful Help, and it's like a coaching app where you can get on there and you can actually find coaches to talk to, somebody to reach out to about any and everything.
Okay.
But those resources are never publicized and put out there for men, especially black men, to get that. And then if people don't understand what we go through when it comes down to economically, the jobs and things like that, that impact your value and realize the value and realize.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, honestly, I was going through this shit when this new position that I left from working with y'all. And I was sitting there, I have to speak to people now. So I'm speaking over a radio, so you hear me talking at this time. Okay. And I was in one of them dark places, and one dude walked up and said, bro, the way you command the room, you need to be on stage somewhere. Was you throwing jokes in that shit too? I was, yeah. But I was just being me.
Yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
But it was like, outside of that, everything else was turmoil. Yeah. That was a safe space.
Right.
So you go through that and somebody walk up to you, and that just one person. I'm talking about numerous times. I can go to work and I need to be on TV. I need to see, I should be hearing your name on TV. Just not thinking about it, but then when it comes to reaching out and they always say the Lord works in mysterious ways. That was something telling me you need to do something.
Right.
This is what you need to be doing. And if you only help one person, that one person said you need to do this.
Yep.
I went through one of the toughest days ever. I went and I did an open mic just off that day because I'm like, man, go on, talk some shit.
Yeah.
Because now that tough day went from, we can get through it. It's a step. It's a layer. Everything comes in. You're not just going to be, I'm fine. Because you can have a great week. You can have a great day. You can have a great month. And then that one day is just going to hit. And you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
I'm back where I
Turn
started.
all the way around. Exactly, right?
Where we going?
Yep.
I'm just glad we strong enough to where we don't turn to no bottles. We don't turn to no drugs.
Exactly.
We don't turn to no loose women.
Exactly.
We don't turn to no loose women.
Exactly.
Did you have to think about that? What the fuck you think? You had to think about that one. Oh, you know what? I'll be real. Like one of the most places. The reason why I ain't go through and did what I did, I ain't want nobody at my funeral crying a little too hard.
Like, who is this?
Who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this bitch? So I was like, you know what? That was
Subject, man. Listen, man. It's about mental health, man. All right, man. You know, this is good for the mental health, to be honest with you.
Laughter, right?
Yes,
shit.
yeah,
It's all jokes, by the way. Ain't nobody gonna be doing the extra crime shit. Yeah, so it's all junk, the money. But in all honesty, man, just being able to talk about it and having an outlet to talk about it, but who you talk about it to is important, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, the therapist part of it. If you got a significant other, you could tell every story to or talk to, and they really understand being non-judgmental. That's a good place too. Because when we go out here as men, especially black men, with the limited resources that we have,
Yes.
the jobs out here that really frown upon letting us have top spots, right?
We talk about the now. Excuse me.
That's over with. DEI is done. I don't give a damn if you're a woman, if you're a black man, Chinese, whatever. That shit is done. No, it's DIY. Do it yourself. Yes. So with that being said, you know, men in general, especially black men, when we go out here and we battle the world, sometimes home, maybe in our cars by ourselves, is a safe space that we can actually release, right?
Yeah.
Whether you releasing tears, listening to music,
It was zooming out.
you don't have the outlet, you know, like Max was saying, don't turn to the bottle. I think that when my son passed, I think I was drinking more than I ever have, right? Because I didn't want those thoughts in my head, so I do what I can to cloud them up, right? So that if I had to get drunk and whatever the case may be until I pass out or whatever, or be alone to myself so it don't bleed onto my family, right? Because I got other kids, right? My daughter, she's in the spot.
There you go.
Son's in the spot. I got a younger son who see me in a different light, right? So if I'm torn down and they see this, it bleeds onto the family, even with my anger, right? So my anger and frustration of feeling the guilt.
There you go.
Because like you say, my goal is to be who my daughter thinks I am. So that's powerful. For I want to be who she thinks I am.
That's right.
Because you can sit there, you can go from I buried my father one day and had to move the next. And that was one of the things where they know, it's choice. I had to move. So it's one of them. You go through shit like that, but your daughter still is looking at you like you the light.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So that's why certain things you have to. I want to be the person that she thinks I am. Anybody else don't have to be that. Because you're not. Because the one who, like you say, is genuinely unconditional love comes from a child.
That's great. Yep.
Period.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It don't matter how much.
Until they're 16.
I don't know. I was about to say. Some of them boys, they get them a little whiff of pussy and they fucking gone. Some of the girls, they fucking start feeling themselves and they gone. Be in the damn nursing home. Understand, Marvin. You be in a nursing home and you be understand why Bobby gave father did what he had to do. Hey, listen. When they teenage boys, because they the smartest dummies I've ever met in my fucking life as a teenage boy. And then, honestly, when you get that girl, see, y'all at that age where,
boy,
all she knows is daddy.
Right, girls, baby.
But when she gets to that point where the other niggas giving her attention, I don't know how I'm going to live.
Man, shit. With a shotgun.
Anyway, back onto the mental health. We can't forget that us men, black men, go through mental health different. But in this society, the teenagers, the children, just nobody having that delivery to get them to a space where they can control theirs or get in tune with what they have going on. Because when you have a 13-year-old, and this is a true story, I had a 13-year-old tell me they've been through so much in life. And I'm thinking to myself, I got a 13-year-old at home. He likes to stay in his room, play the video games, and
school,
so
and other play sports.
Then as older men and sometimes women, we talk to the kids like, you ain't been through shit, right? Instead of thinking like, what could possibly going on in this young lady or this young man's mind to make them feel like they've been through so much in life at 13 years old. And honestly, our generation has started, I think, from what I can tell, listening to the kids. Our generation, you speak when spoken to, stay in the child's place. So a lot of shit that we was going through, we was bred on as a child, don't say shit.
Exactly, yeah.
So now you have to hear them out.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. You have to, I always say break the curse type shit.
Yeah.
That's one form of breaking the curse, listening to what they go.
The children are talking
if they feel like they're being heard.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when they don't feel like they're being heard, guess what they go turn into?
Streets.
Yeah, that's true.
And somebody else.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's what I meant to say.
Yeah, that's what it happens. Anyway, talking with the fellas.
Talking with the fellas, man. We ain't talking about physical neither, man. We ain't talking about, you know what I'm saying, we gotta go to our health and stuff like that too. You know,
Going to the doctor?
Going to the doctor and stuff like that. That's another subject, you know.
We'll talk about that on the
What pills they gave you? I'm sorry, what's that? What pills they Talking with the fellas, man. Stay tuned, to the next episode. And
we out. to the next one. Peace.
I let a little sexy walk. See shawty throw a smile, I ain't gotta talk. Even though I'm up for conversation, good food, good kush for the meditation. Yeah, I can really get to know you, and I ain't gotta know nothing about the old you.